Like, can you talk about the evolution of not just getting it for yourself, but being able to get it for other people around you, and make other people, put other people in position, and really in the span of 10 years going from being able to say millions on a rap record to now saying billionaires?
Yeah, we're not gonna stop. You know, it's the hip hop is young. We still growing, and we're not falling for that technology, whatever, you know, this public puts out there now. That, you know, before it was the American dream. Pull yourself out of bootstraps and you can make it in America. All these lies that America told us our whole life. And then when we start getting it, they try to lock us out of it. They start inventing words like, you know, capitalist and, you know, things like that. I mean, you know, we've been called nigger and monkeys and shit. I don't care. Those words y'all come up with, y'all got to come up with stronger words. When I say y'all, I'm not talking about you. The words they come up with, they got to come up with stronger words. We're not going to stop. We're not going to be tricked out of our position. Y'all locked us out. Y'all created a system that, you know, doesn't include us. We said, fine. We went our alternate route. We created this music. We did our thing. You know, we hustled. We fucking killed ourselves to get to this space. And, you know, now it's like, you know, eat the rich and think, man, we're not stopping. So that evolution is, you know, from us, you know, we came from selling 7 records and selling records out our trunk, and, you know, no radio play. And I think Reasonable Doubt did 36,000 the first week or something like that. I may be adding a little to it, you know. So, you know, I come from Marcy Projects. In my first house, 615 Lexington Avenue, my grandmother's house, 7 families lived. Like, she has 7 kids. My mother and, you know, my parents and siblings lived in that house. My aunt Niecy lived in that house. Hootie lived in that house. Butchie lived in the basement. I mean, this is one house. I went back to that house. I did an interview with Oprah, and I couldn't believe how small this house was, that all of us lived in that house. So, again, the evolution that you speak of, it's just real, and it's happening in real time, and I'm talking about it. And, you know, we're not going to stop, and we're not going to stop talking about it. They're not going to trick us out of it, make us feel ashamed to be successful in a place that, you know, set up a system for us to be dead at 21. No, sir. No, not us.
Jay, we gave him his flowers earlier, but I just want to acknowledge Ari for that amazing piece that he did on your verse.
Yeah, Ari, that was an amazing piece. You know, I appreciate that. You know, again, you know, in the verse I say, my only goal is to make a real feel seen. You know, and you know, when somebody break it down in that way, you know, we all feel seen. And it wasn't me. You know, I got calls from everybody like, man, we needed that right there, or that was amazing, or Ferg hit me up like, we needed that right there, like, so people to articulate and understand what we're going through, you know. So that was an amazing job.
I'm honored to be listening to you. It's crazy, and I'll just say one thing. What we mentioned earlier, before you joined, Khaled and everybody, one person was asking about, well, do you write this in a day? And I was saying, I've been listening to you guys my whole life. Your work and the work of hip-hop artists who've explained the real stories and history that wasn't always in the history books is why I did civil rights law, and then now I do journalism. And so you've been teaching people for so long, and as we explored there's people who don't listen, which is why you get that Mike Wallace moment. But when we, as a team, and I work with a team in my group at the MSNBC, when we write something like that and we go through the archives and we look through what you're doing, you know, we're drawing on years of listening to
I'm so glad.
So it's like it's an honor to be up here just listening to you tonight. But you laid it all out. You've laid it out before, where the hammer's rolling, the news cameras never come, and the stories that are not only systematically ignored, they're lied on, and that ruins people's lives. And the last thing I'll say, and then I'll get back to y'all, the way you showed through your life and other people's lives, the arbitrary moving on either side of the law. The laws keep changing. The laws are enforced in racist ways. The way you show your life, you've been moving in and out of that way. I don't understand it all. I'm just learning. I'm listening. But the way you expose that, and I wonder for years whether people will study this verse to fully understand the poetry is as impressive as the life. It's an autobiography of a life story of achievement against the odds. It's extraordinary. Thank you for having me today.
Good man. Appreciate that.
I'm gonna always have smoke for them. Khaled, where we at, Cal? How you feeling, Cal? This the most quiet Cal been since we started this thing. I think he's speechless. What's going on? Well, we'll wait for Khaled to get that.
Rob, I said when the God is on, don't get me wrong. Let everything come clear and clarity. You listen. When the God is on, you listen, Rob. And that's what I was doing.
Yes, sir.
Man, I appreciate you, man. There's no words that, I'm saying, all I'm going to do is, every time I see you, when I'm not around you, you're my idol, you're my brother, you're my friend, and I appreciate you, what you did for us on this record, and what you've been doing for us. And we all screaming Hov did, you know what I'm saying? Because Hov did for real. And it's just important people know that, man, because you fight for us all the time. And we love that, and we appreciate you. And just keep inspiring us, you know what I'm saying?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Oh, man. And he's nice. Is there a favorite on this album? Or some, because there's so much, but when you first heard it, obviously God did stood out to you. Was there something else on the album that just kind of blew you away or made you feel so connected?
Yeah, definitely. I felt like the No Secret. I don't know if Khaled told that story, but he played me the Drake No Secret. I was like, man, I gotta open it. That it just set the right tone and vibe. And then that Big Time joint, the pockets that Lil Baby was catching on that, like he called, like I don't even know how many pockets, but he just kept switching. Obviously I messed with that Dirk record. 21 Savage is amazing. That Kiss record is so hard. Khaled had a whole vibe. He may want to revisit that later, a remix. But the Kiss record.
Sorry about that, but yeah, you're right. I gotta tell him, man. I gotta tell him because I had a whole vibe and I felt like what we did today. Put on the album, what we put out was so perfect, but it inspired other vibes too. You know what I'm saying?
Cal, was there any more to the Drake record, No Secret, just setting it up? Because I remember you played it, you didn't tell me what was playing. The way it just led in was a perfect intro, but I wondered if there was more.
Yeah, so Drake was at my crib and we was having dinner, and then I played him my album in my studio, and I played him God Did without no drums, with no raps, nothing on it. Just God Did the chords and Friday. That's it. And I told him, like, this is probably gonna be my intro. And he's like, yo, you should put that on your album trail. So when I announced God Did, I put the music in the album trail, and it was just the music. It was just the chords and the God Did Friday singing it. And when I seen everybody that loved it, and it was so infectious, just like they loved the title, I already said in my head before I even put it on the trail that I was going to make it into a song. But I wanted to, be inspired and feel the feeling. So boom, he played me No Secret. And he's like, yo, I'm going to finish this shit up. I was like, nah, I want it just like that. I want to fade this shit out. I want to fade it out. And if there's a longer version that comes later, let it come later. I just want that part and do a fade out. And then I started working on God Did, and then, you see what happened. God did. You know what I'm saying? Like, and it turned into something beautiful. So the way the album started is like been a dream of mine from the beginning of my career, meaning as in there's only certain albums that start like that. Like with a Hov, saying Wayne Ross and a Drake.